Today's video is sponsored by PokemEON, the best place to get yourself some TCG code cards. They are compatible with TCG Live, and you can of course get everything on the website for 5% off using the coupon code ZapdosTCG. This video is also sponsored by CARDMARKET.com. This is a European platform where you're able to buy and sell cards to people all across Europe. I personally use it every single day, and you can do it as well. And you can use the referral name ZapdosTCG to help support the channel. This video is also sponsored by PLAYMAT.com. This is a platform where you're able to, of course, create your own custom playmat. They have, of course, capabilities to ship worldwide, and you can get 10% off by clicking the link down below. So definitely check it out. Last but not least is Dragon Shield, the best brand to protect your beautiful cards. You can of course there's links down below for US and European people, and you can of course get your best quality sleeves available, as well as deck boxes and binders. Thanks so much for sticking around with the commercials. I hope you enjoyed today's upload. If you do, be sure to let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button, and let's get this video going. Sup YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here, and welcome back to our TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get daily Pokemon TCG uploads, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Today we're going to be talking about the Pokemon card 151 set that is coming out at the end of September. So there are definitely some interesting cards in here that are competitively viable. So for that purpose, we're going to be making a top 10 video about the best cards of that set. And in my opinion, there's way more competitive cards in the 151 set than, of course, in the Obsidian Flames set, which is actually super cool. So we're going to be talking about the top 10 cards. If you guys are excited, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. And as a little disclaimer, this is my personal top 10. If your top 10 is different, let me know down below in the comment section. With that being said, let's start off with number 10 is Erika's Invitation. Your opponent reveals their hand, put a basic Pokemon you find there and put it on the opponent's bench, and then drag it to the active position. I could see this working out in some different variations, because with if the opponent has a huge hand size, you can sometimes against Lost Box decks scout out a 2-price Pokemon, and then it's instantly in the active position for you to knock out. I could see one of Erika's Invitation work out. Let's say you're up against Lost Stone Kyogre or whatever, and sometimes they're also playing Dragonite in that list, or Drapion. If they have like a hand size of like 16 cards or something, you can try out an Erika's Invitation, and before you know it, you're gonna be able to scout out a 2-price Pokemon, lay it down on the opponent's bench, and then knock it out because it's already in the active position. It's like a way to close out games when the opponent least expects it. Also, we're going to be talking about Snorlax block from Pokemon Go. Yeah, if that is in the active position, the opponent cannot retreat. I was up against this at the League Cup at one point. It actually is super difficult to pilot against that if you don't know what you're doing. But in theory, this deck will become better because you have Erika's Invitation. You're going to be able to, in the past, you need to use the Manaphy promo in order to scout out basic Pokemon so you can slap them on the bench. But now, if let's say you're up against Gardevoir. They have a huge hand. The only thing you need to do here is use Erika's Invitation. Oh, there's Radiant Greninja. Slap it down on the opponent's bench and drag it into the active position. And if the Gardevoir player is not playing any switch cards like Penny or whatever, they're going to be losing the game because of Snorlax block. That is definitely something that could happen. I could also see this working out. Let's say you're up against Baxcalibur chien-pao. You use this. And, oh, there's a Manaphy I can scout there. Bam. And then out of nowhere, you slap that Manaphy down on the bench and drag it into the active position. If Snorlax has something like, for instance, a pot helmet, then you also win the game. Erika's Invitation, if you want to be certain, you can also play Lure Module, also a card from Pokemon Go, so you know that the opponent has a basic in their hand. Or you can, there are ways to scout out the opponent's hand, but there's also going to be coming out like a Zubat, which can reveal the opponent's hand. So if you know what's in the opponent's hand and you play Erika's Invitation, sometimes that might be enough for you to win the game. Then, you have with that Snorlax control block deck, it's actually a stall deck, you can have Echoing Horn to scout basics from the discard pile, and now you have Erika to scout Pokemon from the hand. So I think that gets a huge buff, and it deserved its spot here on the number 10 spot. Number 9 is Giovanni's Charisma. Giovanni's Charisma is an interesting one because it puts an energy test to your opponent's active back in their hand, and if you're able to do that, you can, of course, attach an energy from your hand to your active Pokemon. This could be working out if you're playing Arceus and you're whiffing that turn 1 energy attachment. This could be a way you can go around that. So that means like say, oh, I have Arceus but no energy attachment. Well, if the opponent has an energy on the active, you can use the V-Star to fetch Giovanni's Charisma, and then you can accelerate energy, attach DTE, and off you go up to the races with this specific time. So I think Giovanni's Charisma is definitely worth mentioning. You can also try this in some sort of control, or like if energy denial becomes huge again. Right now it is not that huge because of Gardevoir, Mirage Gate, and of course Baxcalibur. So lots of energy acceleration in the format right now, but if we are in a slower format, energy denial could be huge. Giovanni's Charisma in combination with Crushing Hammer and all that is definitely something that could become very nasty. Number 8 is for Alakazam EX. This is super nice. Alakazam EX is a Pokemon that can attack from the bench, so it doesn't need to be in the active position to attack. This is the first time we're seeing an interaction like this, and hopefully the TCG Live developers know what they're doing, because this is going to be huge. You're going to be attacking from the bench out. That means you can have a Pokemon in the active that can wall. Think about Mimikyu, which is immune from V Pokemon, and yeah, EX Pokemon, so you can wall with the Mimikyu while you're attacking with Alakazam. No longer you're gonna have a big HP, actually a 2-prize liability in the active position. Now you can have those stall and wall Pokemon all the way in the active position without you having to worry about it in the slightest. Also, Klefki shutting down all the rule box, basic Pokemon, actually all basic Pokemon's abilities, super cool. Put Klefki in the active position and then you can snipe away, yeah, you can actually attack using Alakazam while still having Klefki in the active position. Could be huge. Definitely Lost Box will scratch their head thinking about, oh, if they have like 2 Klefkis and they're going to be able to attack as well, how can I stop this? This is going to be super cool. We have Alakazam here. Also has the Mind Jack, 90 damage plus 30 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if the opponent has a full bench, that's 150 plus 90, that's 240. That's actually super huge. If the opponent has a full bench, even with DTE, you can slap a 220 damage output, which is actually super good. So Alakazam EX, it is a stage 2 though, so you have to play your candies, maybe your Pokestuffs, whatever. And then moving forward, number 7, Zapdos EX. This is a cool Pokemon to include into your Miraidon deck as a one-off. Miraidon is also super turbo with Squawkabilly and all that good stuff. Sometimes this can be enough to get yourself through the game. So it actually has the multi-shot lightning, 120 damage, and this attack also does 90 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. What you could do is use electric generators, then use Hawlucha. Let's say you're on the first turn. You also have this ability, if this Pokemon has any lightning energies attached to it, it has no retreat cost. So what could happen here is that you have, of course, something like, this is going to be a crazy setup, but hear me out on this. You can use Electric Generator attached to the turn. Let's say Zapdos is powered up on turn 1. You can use Squawkabilly here and there. You use Hawlucha. You're going to have to play some Ultra Balls here. Slap down Hawlucha, damage some of the opponent's Pokemon, and from the first turn of the game going second, you could already have 2 prize cards instantly. Knocking out 2 Comfeys instantly is huge, or knocking out Greninja and the Comfey, because if Greninja is in the active position, you hit for weakness. So yeah, this could be a cool way Miraidon can have that sniping capabilities also to finish off Pokemon, because Miraidon in the past had some problems with high HP Pokemon. Let's say you're up against something like a Dragonite and you're only able to slap 220 damage. No, you could be playing Flaffy and Raichu, but maybe this could be some more turbo kind of build where you're trying to attack with Zapdos turn 1 going second, so you can have that 120-90 is very good on the first turn of the game, let us be honest. So yeah, I wonder if Zapdos is going to be pushing that archetype a little bit further. Moving forward, number 6 is Jynx EX. I like Jynx a lot because the Badoom Kiss allows you to knock out the opponent instantly. How many times have you played with Amazing Rare Yveltal back in the days of the Silver Tempest Lugia build, and you just like, Amazing Rare Yveltal, snap, and you're KO'd? Or maybe even a more recent example is Giratina V-Star with Star Requiem. It's just so nice to snap opponents. You can do that with Jynx. If the opponent is asleep, it is knocked out. You can easily set up Jynx EX thanks to the means of a Raihan and double turbo attachment. The only thing you need to make sure is that the opponent is asleep. You can make use of that with Hypno. If you evolve, you can put the opponent to sleep, which is super nice. Also a card from this 151 set. So they go hand in hand, Jynx and Hypno. So that's why I think Jynx could become a solid archetype, being able to one-shot anything in the game. If you're up against high HP Pokemon, VMAXs, it's gonna be fantastic to uptrade with the Jynx EX. Moving forward, number 5 is Dodrio. You might think, what is this Dodrio doing here? Well, basically, once during your turn, you may put 1 damage counter on this Pokemon if you do draw a card. Not very good if you're up against Lost Box. Let me just say that. But on the other hand, if a Pokemon has damage, you can start using Tyranitar EX's second attack for a whopping, I think it's 240 damage, which is actually super huge for only 2 energies. So turn 1, Dodrio and Larvitar. Turn 2, Dodrio, Tyranitar EX, and boom, 240, 240, 240. Very strong. You have 340 HP as well, and maybe that could become an archetype. Also, you're a little bit more Iono-proof. If you're able to get out Dodrio, you at least get that additional card every single time, and it's actually pretty bad against Lost Box, but against other archetypes, yeah, it's just like, who remembers like everybody playing Scovid and Arctina? Well, if Scovid can hit the bench, this can definitely get the bench as well, so you can always get that additional card until it's almost knocked out. So yeah, I'll see this Dodrio Tyranitar deck, another new archetype, because in the past Tyranitar EX, I haven't even tested it out on the channel yet, but Dodrio might give it new life. Moving forward, Wigglytuff EX, the tank of the 151 set. Expanding body. If this Pokemon has any special energies attached to it, you get 100 additional HP. There's a lot of powerful colorless energies out there. Not the powerful colorless energy, but you know how what I'm saying here. You have gift energy, V-Guard energy, etc. So very great effects on colorless special energies. And imagine you have the V-Guard energy onto yourself. That means you have 350 HP, 30 reduction from V Pokemon, and the Rigged Band also allows you to get 30 additional HP. That's gonna be so humongous. You're gonna turn yourself into a 400 HP and above Pokemon, and yeah, the opponent's not gonna be able to deal with that very sufficiently. Definitely, like if you're up against something like a Lost Box deck and you have so much HP, they need to like hit so many times into you. And also you have the Friend Tackle. If you've played a supporter from your turn, you slap 180 damage. So it's probably going to be 160 if we're being honest, because you're probably going to be relying on double turbo energy. So it's going to be like V-Guard double turbo, 160, 160. You get probably 3-shotted or something because you're so tanky. So Wigglytuff EX is definitely going to be great. And on top of that, we still have, yeah, the way you can use Share and Scare on this card as well makes it ridiculous. So we're going to be seeing if Wigglytuff splashes its way in an archetype. But definitely a lot of great content coming on the channel for some new archetypes. Then Blastoise EX, another new archetype potentially. It actually has 330 HP. Being weak to lightning is a little bit bad since Raikou V is in a lot of Lost Boxes, and there is still, of course, the Miraidon deck doing more and more, yeah, havoc here and there. So we have the Solid Shell. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. Super huge. Cramorant Spit, irrelevant. You're gonna be like hit with like 80 damage or something. That's like doing probably nothing. So if you're able to rare candy your Squirtle all the way into a Blastoise EX, you're gonna be able to hit for 280 damage. If you use the Twin Cannons, discard up to 2 basic energy cards from the hand. Basic water energies for that matter, and then you're slapping 140 damage for each card you discarded in this way. So I could see this working out with like Palkia V-Star. You can have Palkia for the early lead to slap some damage, and you have Blastoise for the late game. You have 280 damage. You can map some damage output off together with something like a Radiant Greninja. Baxcalibur could also power this up. There's energy retrieval to get energies back if you discarded these energies. So Blastoise, if you're already playing rare candy, something like a Baxcalibur, maybe Blastoise as a 101 line could become something that we can try out, because chien-pao has a little bit of less HP, but this is a humongous 330 HP 2-price Pokemon. That's why it's here on the number 3 spot, Blastoise EX. Number 2 is Ditto. This Ditto is huge. It actually is a very great card. This ability can only be used if this Pokemon is in the active spot and only on your first turn. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon except Ditto. If you do, discard this Pokemon and all cards attached, and yeah, and put it in its place. So this is pretty much your 5th Arceus, your 5th Lugia, your 5th Comfey, maybe a Pidgey or a Charmander depending on your setup. So this Ditto is huge. If you want to have that Pokemon you always want to be starting with, definitely play that one-off Ditto. Don't play more, otherwise your deck will become pretty bricky, because after turn 1, the Dittos are pretty much useless. So if you have Ditto, you want to have your 5th basic, your 5th Comfey, your 5th Arceus, your 5th Lugia. This is going to be a slot that people might think about. If you always want to be starting with Arceus, Lugia, or Comfey, these could be a thing. Oh, I start with Ditto. There we go. Then you can transform unless something like a Klefki is in your path. But yeah, this is great, right? Ditto is a nice Pokemon, and will definitely be one of the more played cards from the 151 set. Then, number 1, Mew EX. Mew is here. We saw Mew VMAX dominate the format ever since Fusion Strike. Well, Mew EX, super strong card. Its ability actually allows you to draw cards until you have 3 cards in hand. It's also stackable, so if you have a couple of Mew EXs out, you can, maybe there's going to be some turbo build with a lot of item cards to run through the deck. You draw cards. It's only going to be drawing 3 cards, but if you get a couple of these out, like you could play, yeah, cards like, there's a lot of turbo cards out there, Pokestop and Tracking Shoes, etc. So maybe there's a room for that. There's also Free Retreat Mew EX, very important, because if you start with it, it's not bad. You can Free Retreat into something else. This Mew EX will see play in Gardevoir EX and potentially Lugia V-Star because of his Genome Hack attack. Choose one of your opponent's attacks and use it as this attack. You don't need the required energies to use that attack. So let me just give you a little bit of an example. Oh, I'm up against Turbo Lost Box and they are playing Radiant Greninja. See where we're going with this? Oh, I am going to boss up Radiant Greninja and I'm going to use the Moonlight Shuriken with my Mew EX to take 2 prize cards on 2 Comfeys. That could something that could happen. Oh, is that, let's see, other attacks in the format. You can use any attack when it's in the active position. You can copy attacks, which is super nice. And that's why I think Mew EX is just so versatile, so good. You can power it up with a Raihan double turbo energy, so it can see itself in a random Arceus deck. You can see it in Gardevoir EX because you can accelerate the psychic energies instantly onto it. You can be playing it in Lugia to accelerate some Carlos energies to attack. You can also use Mirage Gate in an attach of turn. So Mew EX, super versatile, has Free Retreat, has draw power. It is a fantastic card. It's my #1 pick for the 151 set. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It helps out so much. Try to get the best content available for you guys so you know what is coming. If you have a different top 10, let me know down below in the comment section. What would you change in the order, and did I forget a couple of cards? I know there's Venusaur EX and Charizard EX, but pretty much they are not good, so that's why I didn't include it. Yeah, I want to get a discussion started. Which Pokemon cards do you also think are good for the 151 set? Yeah, let me know down below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Pokemon TCG epicness. Peace!